We're going to go ahead and sand this down now and get that nice and smooth and get it prepared. Make a little bit bigger scarf for the next layer of carbon fiber that's going to go over here. In some cases it's going to be 2 layers. Like in this particular ding, it's a little bit deeper, so we can afford to have another layer of carbon, and then we're going to have 1 layer of carbon that goes over the top. It makes it all flush. But we'll go ahead and scarf this back a little bit on each side, so we're taking care of these little cracks, and that we've got nice adhesion to the damaged area. On this repair, we've sanded it back. We have a nice little scarf here that we have something to overlap this new layer of carbon with, so it really adheres to that. We've removed, you can see kind of a semi-smooth line, this extra paint layer. So we're not trying to adhere to the paint, we're adhering to the actual carbon fiber, but it's kind of cleaned up. So this particular ding is, even though it's sanded down all nice, this is a little bit low in this region, so this one's going to require 2 plies of carbon, 1 in this little area, and then 1 around the whole outside, and we'll kind of smooth that in with plastic. We'll show you how it's done. This particular one is only going to require 1 layer, and that's going to be real simple. Put some stuff over that, some plastic over it, and smooth it out, and it'll be pretty much done. So, okay, you can see we've got this one taped off. I'll go ahead and tape this one off here in a minute. This is just to catch any extra resin going out here. It'll keep from making a mess, and it'll make it a whole lot easier, make it pretty in the end. I'll show you what it's going to look like. There's that main piece. It's going to go in. This one goes over it, like so. Here's this little guy. This is just going to change size to adjust for the size of the ding. And we're mixing up this resin here out of the same kind of packs, just a little different kind of resin. This is a little bit stronger. It takes about 2 hours to cure rather than 5 minutes. Same idea. This one we're going to use a brush on. And the resin's going to go on the part first. I'm going to make sure it soaks into that foam. Yeah. Not going too crazy on the resin application. These extra plies, they can either go on the top or the bottom, depending on how much you think you're going to sand off. If you do a perfect job like I'm doing right now, you can do it however you want. I think so too. I think so too. And take the plastic squeegee, just kind of work out the air, nice and easy like. So start in the middle, work out. Just be careful while we walk away and let it cure for a couple hours. We'll go ahead and tape it up. tight, like so, and kind of try to work out first the air, and you can kind of see now this area had a little dip in it, but not so much anymore because we're kind of pulling it tight. We're going to let that cure. Same thing with this guy. Start in the middle, work out, pretty minor, but you want it to turn out pretty when it's all done. And we're going to also tape this one down. Okay, I'm going to let that cure. So we have both these ding repairs together. Now, this guy, it's pretty smoothed out. There's a little air bubble in there. I'm not going to work too hard to get it out. But these guys, if you let these dry for 2 hours, you can basically pull this plastic off and go surf. Now we're just going to do a little bit of sanding on that. It's basically a little block sand. We have the paper in the repair kit. Sand that down, and with a little 220, and then to 400, it'll look exactly like this, exactly like the pro finish. And we have another example of a shiny board, which we're going to show you, that gets sanded out, blocked out, and then it gets polished as well. And you can't really tell that there's been a repair there, except for a little distortion in the fibers. But the overall smoothness is perfect and not really that noticeable, especially for boards with repairs on the deck. It's not going to matter as much if it's underneath your wax, obviously, but right here, where your hand's going to feel it, you want it to be as smooth as possible. But you can feel there's not much of a transition on either side of this, so we'll just kind of feather that carbon out when we pull this stuff off, ready to go surf. This board, you can see right here, has been patched in this region. You can see by the lines, it's pretty fair, and it's almost like you can't feel it. So that's the objective that you're after. And this was a very severe ding. This board was almost in two pieces, and also been crunched by a vehicle. So you can bring them back to life where it's almost like you can't really tell. This one, the fibers aren't matching up perfectly, but you can see it's fair, it feels good, plus this area is going to get wax anyway.